So this is not unlike fairness in a way, but I think we've dealt with that quite thoroughly. But there are other ways in which people can feel unequal treatment. Gladys, can I hand over to you on that and just talk about bias and that kind of problem?
Yeah, sure, Con. I think the first thing is everyone needs to consciously remove that bias, right? First of all, they need to be aware of the circumstance, the situation, and things like that. Say, for example, in my team, the tech team, we have managers who have a team of people, and then they also handle projects. And in the projects that they handle, they might or might not have their team members, right? So if you look at, and the team might be made up of, let's say, in a team of 10, there might be 9 male members and 1 female member. Now, I think it is to be conscious about that, to understand that there is an imbalance between gender imbalance and things like that, and to treat everyone equally. And sometimes you should, there might be a situation where you have to treat a person slightly in a special way, right?
Yes, a bit of extra.
You need to do a little bit of extra. So I think it is to be very conscious and be aware of that imbalance, and then
and of your own position. So if I'm a beleaguered white male, I'm going to have a preference if I'm interviewing people for white males like me, and to kind of park a little bit. And also, I guess in that example, you have 9 male and 1 female. Just make the extra effort to ask her for an opinion. Invite her to speak. I think would be a nice gesture. And also, when you schedule your meetings, is she a caregiver? Is she a mum? Do we need to think about that? That maybe there's a time of day which is just the worst time possible. Now, the other guys could be caregivers too, but you might just sort of try and keep that in mind when you see that kind of situation. Any other instances?
And sometimes it's so easy, right? Say, if nine male members are there, it's easy to talk about a sport like cricket or football, and the person might, the female member might be completely left out. So it's
my wife Natasha used to have that in her law firm. She was the only junior lawyer, and they'd all come in talking about the weekend's football game, and they would drone on about it for about a half an hour, and she just felt completely. So it can be a bit annoying, especially if it's happening regularly, that it's a really male sport. It can be
that's
annoying.
That on a lighter note. But again, as you said, these kind of biases can unconsciously creep in.
I suppose if there's 8 females and they spend a half an hour discussing
some makeup or whatever.
I'm glad you said that, Gladys. But yes, but I guess that could also arise that we have males who are in the minority, and also language, though, I think is more important.
Exactly, especially my team, because we work largely from home and we are pan-Indian. I think there is a lot of divide between the north-south divide is there. Definitely.
But 8 Tamil speakers and 2 Hindi speakers.
Tamil speakers and 2 Hindi speakers, again, they might feel a bit left out. I think in that case, the manager has the major responsibility to make sure that, say, for example, if the guys are struggling to explain something, it's okay for them to speak in Tamil, right? However, it is the duty of the manager to make sure that, that is being translated, or, he plays that person who sort of explains it to the non-Hindi speaker, so that they're not
everybody's on board.
That. So I think
they are important aspects of equality, or the sense of being treated equally. Those small details really do matter.
And again, it's not only the manager's responsibility, so to speak, right? So, for example, we need to make sure that we are educating people enough. And, the first example where there are 9 male members and 1 female member, I think, they need to be also aware of that imbalance and, make a conscious effort to sort of include that person, or make sure that biases don't creep in. So, I think...
Yeah. And also, I think if I can add to that is just, I see that in data operations, because we have management teams in Mumbai as well as in Chennai. And sometimes you have to remind people to speak the language that everyone can understand. But also another small point which I notice is, especially when people are working remotely and they're joining a call, right? There are, about 40 people on the call. The ones who join remotely will always be on time. But the ones who are joining in the office will have some reason or the other, 5 minutes, 4 minutes late. But just to be conscious of the fact there are people who have joined on time for the call, and it's because they've joined online. Be respectful of everyone's time as well, depending on where they are. I think the small little things make it important, make a difference as well. And I think it's the role of managers to call that out and saying it matters. Every small thing actually matters.
Yeah. So that's the message is be aware of your own bias, and then the small stuff, just really think about the small stuff.